Alright, I want you all to meet Keteru. She is a former Kuva Lich, now a disciple of the Platinum Arrow. The reason why she is disciple of the Platinum Arrow is because she has magnetic-based powers, and she was first killed by the Platinum Arrow, i.e. a mag. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at her abilities. We have Attractor Wave, which is essentially pull. We have Magnetic Snare, which is essentially magnetize. Really difficult to fight against, actually, because of the way that damage numbers work in Warframe. If you have that magnetized bubble on you, and then you shoot just even an arrow, that arrow comes, hits you, you're dead instantly. Even an Aros would die to an arrow in a magnetized bubble. So, Magnetic Snare, super difficult to fight against. The third ability is Magnetic Crunch, it's just basically crush, and her fourth ability is Teleport, which just basically means she goes from here to like here, you know, teleports. Alright. Basically, this ability, and this ability, they're all mostly useless in her battles, or actually never mind, they were somewhat annoying to fight against, but this ability, I died so many times against Magnetic Snare. Apparently, otherwise, some fun things is that she uses a Karak. Okay, cool. I killed her at a Daro. She apparently has some extra magnetic damage on her weapon, which is kind of why my shields just died instantly. She's weak against gas, but I never bothered to use gas. And here's the fun thing, she has a fear of children, which means jumping into the operator is really, really effective because it scares the living shit out of her. I don't think it actually does anything in particular against her, but she's scared of children, so she's scared of children. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Kuva Lich system. There are some good things about it, but there are also some bad things about it. Things that I think should be changed. The Kuva Lich system, the Kingpin system, is a very long system, i.e. there's a lot of time-based stuff involved. What I'm trying to say is it takes a while to get to the point where I am at the moment in relation to the one that I am calling my future disciple. So, this is Keteru, or Keteru, however the bloody hell you want to call her. At the moment she is level 5. And it says that she has defeated me a grand total of 4 times on my journey to figuring out how to actually defeat her. I now know how to defeat her. I have the Requiems necessary to defeat her. The only question now is, which order do they go? Now, in order to get those Requiems, I had to do a whole lot of farming to complete the Requiem Murmurs. And then by completing the Requiem Murmurs, I knew which ones I needed, and now I have them ready to go. So hopefully we're going to fight her at some point, and then we can figure out which order they're going to be in. So the great thing about the Kuva Lich system is that you are given a lot of really high level missions to do. Because as you are progressing through and trying to figure out how to defeat the Kuva Lich, all of the missions that you play on are basically from like level 80 onwards, especially as your Kuva Lich grows in power. I find that seems to have a bit of a correlation. As your Kuva Lich grows in level, with Keteru eventually reaching level 5 before I defeated her and converted her into a disciple, I ended up going into missions where enemies just started immediately at like level 9. And that's so welcome. I really like that. So, the reason why I like that is, there's 3 reasons. First of which is that it makes it somewhat challenging. We have a somewhat challenging mobile defense, somewhat challenging rescue missions, somewhat challenging exterminate, capture, spy even. Well, spy missions don't really take into account what level they are to be challenging. It's just the spy ball part that's really challenging. But being able to fight regularly and on demand against, in this case, semi-high level enemies, I'm actually calling that semi-high level enemies, I like that, and I think that's a really welcome change of pace. So that's the big reason, one of the big things that I really like about the Kuva Lich system. The problem is when you actually are defeated by the Lich. So what is the problem? The The problem is the instant death mechanic, okay? This is not good when it came to combat discipline, which is the aura that instantly kills you if you don't have any friends using it as well. It was horrible then, it's not good now, okay? I think rather than just jumping straight into instant death part of getting defeated by the Kuva Lich, instead the cutscene for the Kuva Lich powering up should continue. We should get a nice angle of the Kuva Lich, possibly a little close up into the Kuva Lich's face, showing it like getting ready to grow in power, and then like it explodes into a blinding white light, or maybe not a blinding white light, I don't know, it just explodes into some energy and then it disappears, and then the camera resets back to you, and if you don't have a friend or a companion to revive you, instant death. That's fine, but if you do have a friend or a companion, then you go into the bleed out state. As long as the bleed out state still continues, because that is, I think, a core game mechanic and it really should never be bypassed. So again, it was bad with combat discipline, it's not good with this either. Okay? While we're on the subject of getting completely, utterly owned by the Kuva Lich and therefore fighting the Kuva Lich, let's talk about the Parazon. The Parazon is a multi-tool that is essentially also like an Assassin's Blade that is now available for all Warframes. You get it by default, so there's no need to like play any sort of random thing in order to do it. Now, it's great, and the mods for it are fantastic, and they can be useful. Well, they're all varying levels of useful, but at least most of them, aside from like maybe one, is actually useful. Okay? The problem with the Parazon for me though is that I don't get enough opportunities to actually use it, and this is because, first thing, any enemy, any normal enemy, we're not talking about Kuva Lich Thralls, we're talking about just regular enemies that can also be Parazoned, which is a word. That's going to be a word. Any normal enemies that would be eligible for Parazoning end up dying too quickly to my arrows anyway. From level 0 to about 80-ish, I could basically one-shot everything with my Paras Prime, which means I don't get that many opportunities to actually use my Parazon at all, because the guy who could be Parazoned, that's a word, needs to actually be at a certain threshold of their health in order to get that prompt happening. And you can't really be at that certain part of your health if you're already dead. And you can't Parazon something that is dead, so that's a problem. And the second thing is you can't actually Parazon anything that is crowd controlled. So any and all Warframes have some form of crowd control, and if you happen to be crowd controlling someone, you can't assassinate them, and that's a bit of a problem as well. Which means higher level enemies, I typically don't get the opportunity to use my Parazon on them either, because when I can't kill them, I crowd control them so that they don't shoot at me, so I can kill them some more. Now, I think what should happen is any enemy who is eligible for Parazoning, which again is a word, should undergo the same mechanic as the Kuva Lich Thralls. Because what happens when you shoot a Kuva Lich Thrall in the face, even if you one-shot them, they go into that kneeling position and you get to, let's channel our Mortal Kombat for a second, finish them! That was a bit cringe. Either way, I think any normal enemy that can be Parazoned should undergo that particular mechanic, and then you get about 3 seconds to at least form the thought in your head, hey, I want to actually assassinate the dude, and then you can go and assassinate them. And if you don't want to use the Parazon on them, then after 3 seconds they just automatically die because you did actually kill them. So I think that should be something that you do with Parazons and Parazon victims. And now I have defeated her. She realizes that I am the alpha, she is the beta. But I will have her as my disciple.
Very well. I concede. We are allied.
So the great thing about the Kuva Lich system is that it is very challenging, but it's actually an enjoyable amount of challenging, so it is in that sort of balance area between the easy Senuka missions and the hard-ish swordy missions, and it doesn't have the bullcrap mechanics of arbitration drones. And the Kuva Lich battles themselves are either quite challenging or ultra challenging, depending on what kind of Kuva Lich you're fighting against. Again, I would say that Keteru with the magnetize ability makes her ultra challenging. The problems with the Kuva system is that, again, the horrible instant death mechanics and the lack of opportunities to use the Parazon, at least for me. So I think if GE were to fix those two things, I would call this an absolute win. So I guess my final thought would be that things did seem really grindy for me in the Kuva system, but that may be more because I tried to complete an entire Kuva cycle, i.e. kill a maggot, quote unquote, kill a maggot, and then go through the system doing mission after mission after mission after mission to try and figure out what the requiems I needed were, and then trying to figure out what order I needed the requiems to do, and then actually converting Keteru. I did all of that in like half a day, and that burnt me out. So I would definitely recommend not doing that, because after I finally converted Keteru, I was really tired. My entire body was like literally burnt out, which is why I'm going to announce that I am taking a break from Warframe. I'm no longer going to be playing this game for another week or two. I'm just kidding. Just don't do that, you know? Don't do that. I don't think this system was designed to do that. I think this system was designed so that you have a Kuva Lich, who is just constantly robbing you of your rewards for like a couple of days at least, or like a week at least. Spread it out, you know? It's like Nightwave. Don't just burn yourself out trying to get everything as quickly as you can, because the system, I think, was not designed for that, and I think your experience, like mine for Keteru, is going to be not a particularly pleasant one when it is all over. So that's just my, that is just my thought, at least about that kind of a grind. Let me know what you think about that and everything else in the comments below. Do you agree with any of the assessments that I have made about the Kuva system? Do you disagree with any of the assessments that I've made about the Kuva system? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warframe content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye!